Okay, Campbell Knudsen, I didn't want it to go this way, but you forced my hand. I didn't want to make this video, but I find it difficult to find work when there's an active warrant on me. Now, I'm okay with, someone paying the price for what they did. And that's what this video is about. For anyone having problems with their attorney or even the opposing attorney, prosecuting attorney, doing their jobs, do this. This is a uniform bonding code. And what it states, 5.2, bonding of district attorneys, a city, county, state, or federal district attorney, including a U.S. attorney called a U.S. attorney, shall lose his bonding and shall not be bonded. 1, if he refuses to properly identify himself to the citizen when asked to do so, including giving the citizen the name and address or telephone number of his bonding company and his bond policy number. Now, that's their insurance. When police officers pull someone over, they ask you for your insurance information. This is their insurance. They never give this information. Attorneys, you're supposed to give this information. So I'm publicly now asking Attorney Henry A. Schaefer III from Campbell Knudsen, what is your bonding number and what's the name of the company? Address as well. Also I'm asking prosecuting attorney from the office of Catherine Keener, District Attorney's Office of Catherine Keener, Joseph Williamson. Also Markel Theus, please send me your bonding information. Thank you. Judge Cynthia McCullum. Oh man, what to say about her? Well, here, this is what the Uniform Bonding Code says. 5.4, bonding the judges. A judge shall lose his bonding, shall not be bonded, and shall be deemed unbondable if he fails to protect the U.S. national constitutionally guaranteed remedies of due process and the equal protection of the law of any citizen appearing in his court of law. Okay? Judge Cynthia McCullum, you didn't do that. Oh, look, I almost forgot something. Bonding, 5.5, bonding of attorneys. A lawyer or an attorney shall lose his bonding, shall not be bonded, and shall be deemed unbondable if he fails to protect the remedies of due process and the equal protection of the law of either his client or of the adverse party in an action. So even the prosecutor is supposed to follow the steps of due process for remedy. This is from Stephen Stoller's police report of the event on July 31st, 2023. Now, Stephen Stoller was justified in the 2016 use of his assault rifle on a man drinking a beer. Rest in peace, Mr. Jamie Lewis. Stoller goes on to report, on July 31st, 2023, I stopped the vehicle because the driver was wearing headphones on both ears and the vehicle was displaying a fake license plate. Stoller, liking violence, he escalated the situation. He goes on to say, so I broke the driver's window out with the glass breaker on my folding knife. I unlocked the door, opened it, and took off the driver's seatbelt. I then took a hold of his right wrist and tried to escort him out of the vehicle. The driver told me not to touch him and physically resisted. I was able to pull him out of the driver's seat onto his feet and told him to turn around. He refused and had his arms up near my head and was in the V of the driver's door in the car. The driver brought his hands down and I could feel his hand hit my gun. He began pushing back against me. I took a hold of him and spun him towards the rear of the car, giving numerous commands to get on the ground. He refused and physically resisted officers. I took the driver to the ground, but he was on his back and still resisting and grabbing onto officers. Mr. Brinson was charged with assaulting Officer Stoller. Let me know when you see the resisting. Mr. Brinson with his hands up. handsome fellow. He was ambushed, still no resisting, doing his best to keep his hands in the air when he's being shoved around by the officers. You see Mr. Brinson hit his gun? I didn't. That Stoller facing the camera, throwing Mr. Brinson to the ground, and that's Hetherington's hands that's waiting for the assist. He waited for the assist to slam Mr. Brinson to the ground harder, which they claim was in the grass. You can see here, it was close to the grass, but no. Mr. Brinson landed on this dirt-covered asphalt, and this assist from Hetherington helped break two of Mr. Brinson's ribs. After Mr. Brinson landed and broke his ribs, Hetherington held his arm down. Why did he hold his arm down? So Stoller can land his punch to the face. There's a punch to the face. Back to Stoller's report. He says, I observed the license plate on the vehicle to be one from an alert that another officer sent out. It was a plate commonly used by sovereign citizens and don't believe they need license plates to drive. The plate was purple in color. It had US DOT on the top. In the middle, the numbers 3527925 are on it. At the bottom, it stated private non-commercial. Yeah. Private non-commercial. And what's with the stereotyping? I never claimed to be sovereign citizen. That doesn't make any sense. Sovereign, free. Citizen, subject. Free subject, stupid. Don't do me like that. Officer Hayter reported here, I had Dakota 911 perform a records check on the DOT number. The DOT number was registered to 59 Washington Street. The company the DOT number was registered to is named Parindra-Ra Trust. Go figure. I called the phone number associated with the address and left a voicemail with Jai, advising him on the incident and asked him to call me back with any information he asked. So Mr. Brinson pulled over for a fraudulent license plate, but here it says the plate was registered with the DOT. So there's no case. So then why was Mr. Brinson assaulted by these officers, especially when he wasn't resisting arrest? This is what Mr. Brinson was charged with. 4th-degree felony assault on a peace officer, demonstrable bodily harm. Let's address that. Obstruct legal process, lawful execution, legal process. Motor vehicle registration, intent to escape tax. Motor vehicle registration, operate unregistered vehicle without plates on public street highways. Traffic regulation, driver must carry proof of insurance when operating vehicle. So now what's left of these fraudulent charges, intent to escape tax, motor vehicle registration, operate vehicle with expired registration. So these two have been proven not to exist, not to be true, because the US DOT number was registered to the fraudulent plate. And so the only thing left why everything happened on July 31st, Mr. Brinson was pulled over with the emergency lights of Sergeant Stoller, and he was traumatized. His window was broken, slammed to the ground, punched in the face, broke 2 ribs, went to jail, lost his contract, couldn't work, all for wearing headphones. But there was no due process. So this whole thing is gone. Should be. And this is why I'm sending this video to some of the conspirators. See here, March 22, 2024, there was a notice of remote hearing with instructions that was sent to Mr. Brinson. On August 2nd, 2023, the date Mr. Brinson was released from Dakota County Sheriff's Office, Dakota County Jail, he met with Judge Cynthia McCullum in the courtroom at the hearing, and she did state that there would be an August 30 hearing. There was no notice. You can see there's no notice to send to Mr. Brinson, no notice sent to Mr. Brinson. He didn't know the location. He's not a resident of the state of Minnesota. He does not domicile in Minnesota. So Mr. Brinson didn't know what courtroom to report to. He didn't know the time. And this is a violation of the due process clause of the U.S. Constitution. And all of the charges are fraudulent anyway, so it should be thrown out. But this is another violation of the due process clause because this is double jeopardy. What they did was they attempted to separate the incident into two different cases. The first being assault on an officer, which was supposed to be August 30th. Mr. Brinson never received any kind of notice of that. That was the first one. Mr. Brinson proved to the district attorney, Joseph Williamson, that this was totally fraudulent. And on December 4th, 2023, the case was dismissed. And March 22nd of this year, Mr. Brinson was sent a notice this time, but the charges are all fraudulent. You guys have some explaining to do. Please explain Campbell Knudsen, Henry Schaefer III, Henry A. Schaefer III. Yeah, I got your name right. Joseph Williamson, Judge McCullum. Please answer. Why is this even a case? I need those bond numbers. I'm requesting those bond numbers. Thank you.